The Boy Who Spoke to Dragons. A tale of courage, friendship, and understanding. Long ago, in the heart of a deep green valley surrounded by snowy mountains, there was a quiet village named Windmere. The people there were kind but fearful. For centuries, they lived with an unshakable rule. Never go beyond the Silver Ridge. That's where the dragons live. Children were told scary stories of dragons breathing fire, stealing cows, and haunting the skies at night. Among those children was a curious boy named Eli. He was 12 years old, with messy hair, clever eyes, and a heart full of questions. Eli didn't believe the scary stories. He often climbed trees to see beyond the ridge and dreamed of what lay beyond. "Dragons can't be that bad," he would whisper to his dog, Patch. One night, a strange sound woke Eli. A deep rumble shook the earth. People rushed into the streets to see smoke rising from behind the ridge. "A dragon attack," cried the village chief. "Prepare the fire arrows." But Eli felt something different. What if it's not an attack? What if something is wrong? Against every rule, Eli packed a satchel with food, a slingshot, his lucky rock, and a notebook. He left a note for his parents and sneaked out with Patch before dawn. The climb up the Silver Ridge was hard. Mist wrapped around Eli like a wet blanket, and strange bird calls echoed in the cliffs. Suddenly, Patch barked. They reached a high ledge and found something incredible, a young dragon, trapped beneath a fallen tree. The dragon's scales shimmered with blue and gold. Its wing was bleeding. It didn't roar, it whimpered. Eli didn't run. He knelt and said softly, "Don't worry. I'll help." The dragon stared at him, confused but calm. Eli used a stick to lift the branch and tore his own shirt to bandage the wound. "You're not what they say at all," he whispered. "You're just hurt." The dragon's name, as Eli discovered over days, was Kelith. Though they couldn't speak the same language, they understood each other. Eli learned the dragon's expressions, hums, and wing movements. In return, Kelith let Eli ride on his back, soaring through skies he had only ever seen from treetops. Kelith took him to hidden places, crystal caves, lakes that sang, and even to a high mountain where elder dragons lived. "They've stayed hidden for years," said Kelith, through a series of images shown in the fire. "Because humans fear us, and some of us fear humans." Back in Windmere, the villagers prepared for war. Scouts saw Eli flying with the dragon. "They've taken the boy," shouted the chief. "Prepare the catapults." Eli returned just in time. He stood before the village council with Kelith by his side. "Please," Eli said, "listen to me. They are not monsters. They protect the mountains. Kelith saved my life. He's my friend." "But dragons once destroyed half the valley," someone shouted. "That was a long time ago," Eli said. "Not all dragons are the same. Just like not all humans are the same." The villagers were divided. Some wanted peace. Some wanted war. That night, the sky lit up with fire, not from dragons, but from a forest wildfire started by lightning. The villagers panicked. The fire moved too fast. But then, the dragons came. Kelith and his kin blew strong winds with their wings, pushing the fire away. They dropped water from the lakes. They saved the village. After the fire, everything changed. Windmere and the dragons made peace. They built a sky stone, a meeting place between humans and dragons. Children learned dragon language. Dragons watched over the valley. As for Eli, he became known as the boy who spoke to dragons. He wrote books, taught others, and always reminded people, when we fear what we don't understand, we lose the chance to make a friend. Moral of the story: don't judge others before you understand them. Sometimes the bravest thing is to listen, even when everyone else is afraid.